What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Gen TV podcast. As always, your boy Ease.
Hey, what the sauce, God?
And as always, or sometimes, or when we feel like it, we have a good guest on. And today, we got a great guest on. We got the boy, not AD, not AD,
not Pad.
not Pad,
No.
Not say that, Pat.
but Ahdawan in here. What's good, man?
What's up? It's Ahdawan.
Ahdawan. I still fucked it up. Ahdawan.
Everybody fucks it up. It's cool. It's
Yo,
not-
I got it. Like my real name. So obviously, I go by Ease, but my real name, people cannot fucking say it.
What is it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
No, you have to tell me because I'm
breaking-
gonna tell you my whole official name.
I'm gonna spell out my name for you. You tell me how you would pronounce it.
All right.
Breno. You see, yo, it fucks people's heads up, yo.
Breno.
Holy, you got it. That was it.
I'm sensitive to names.
You've been through it.
I've been through it since '93. First of all, my name is spelled wrong on my birth certificate.
How's it spelled wrong?
The story is, I was a C-section.
Okay.
My dad was getting food from my mom
Mm-hmm.
at McDonald's. Don't eat there, guys. It's unhealthy. But while he was getting food for her, he told my mom what my name was. He told the doctors what my name was. Nobody knew how to spell it. So the doctors spell it.
Oh.
So he said Ahdawan Rahim. They spelled it Ahdawan Rahim. And since then, I haven't been called my name at all,
Then you were fucked from birth.
basically.
Did you ever think about just changing it yourself?
I didn't learn how to spell my name right until 5th grade.
Yeah, I mean, it's been some time since 5th grade, right?
It's
I'm
been some
assuming, like, you
time,
seem to be an
yeah.
adult now. Like, you ever think about just going down to the office and, like, can I get this changed?
Nah, I heard how much it was, and I was like,
How much
That's
is
cool.
it to change your name?
it's not a lot, but I'm like,
But it costs.
Yeah, I could wait.
You know what's
I don't
funny?
mind.
I actually met this lady the other day that not the other day. I was actually having a conversation the other day with someone with this lady, and she was telling me how her cousin just found out that she's been spelling her name wrong her entire life.
Congratulations, welcome to the club.
Yeah. So I guess she's like, the lady's like 40.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Hang it up.
She's like 40.
Hang it
and
up.
She's
That's
been,
your name.
she's went her entire life spelling her name
That's
one
your
way,
name already.
and then
just
found out that, like, she looked at her birth certificate and realized that the birth certificate had it spelled a completely
Yo, I don't even know
different
how that's, like, legally possible.
way. Right.
Because you have to bring your birth certificate to, like, certain things. Like, when you get a driver's license. Like, I don't know how to...
I don't know.
like I feel like my real name is my alias, and then
So even when people know your real name, they don't know your real name.
they don't know.
So how is Raheem spelled? How did they spell Raheem?
Rahim, but the H was never supposed to be there.
Okay. So it's supposed to be Raim.
Yep.
Raheem?
Rahim.
Okay, got it.
Rahim.
I get that from
That sounds
you
like
gotta get that from the back of your throat.
Oh
Pause.
yeah, no. Yeah.
that sounds like some Hebrew shit.
No, because it is. Nah, the language that the Hebrew language is a very masculine language, so it's a lot of strong.
Like grunt, like caveman grunt.
Come from here, come from the diaphragm. So
Wow.
Ahdawan Rahim.
All right.
But
Well,
since no one can say it right, I've been called everything, but I just go by Adi.
Adi. All right, we'll go with that. It's
All right,
easy for
Adi.
me.
Yeah.
That's like a Vibes Cartel.
That'll be a podcast name, bro. From now on, Adi.
It's Adi, guys. What's up?
All right, but let's
All
get
right.
into our question of the week.
So we asked you guys on Facebook, when did you start going to church? Why did you leave if you did? And do you still hold the values that you've learned, that you loved, learned, keep them?
Okay.
All right. So wow, I can't even read today. What is going on?
That's not just.
I
That's
think it's the Tito's.
okay. So you threw a couple shots back.
Yeah, I threw a couple of them back.
You just
All right, so Andre said, "Stop going when I was kicked out. LOL. Literally got this fellowship.
You got kicked out of church?
Kicked out of church. Yeah.
How did you get kicked out of church?
I don't know. So we asked, what was the reason, right? And he said, fornication. Fornication was his reason for getting kicked out of church.
Was he fornicating in church or just fornication in general?
I don't know. I don't know what the story is behind it, but he got kicked out of church for fornication. So then Jennifer Brown said, I grew up going to church and I stopped in high school when I moved to Waterbury. I still believe in God, but I do not follow church rules. And so we asked, what made you decide to stop going? She said, I don't know. Just didn't look for a church. So pretty much
I
just
think
like,
that's how most people live, man. I think that you go to church when you're younger, and then when you're an adult, you just kind of say, this ain't worth it. Kind of.
so Sergio didn't answer the question, but Sergio said, unfortunately, people are flawed and sinful. Sometimes the leaders in the church ruin that for people. And what I recommend is that people don't let people represent God in a poor manner. Read the Bible at your own pace. Understand the word for yourself. The Bible says, where two or more are gathered together, in Jesus' name, that is where he is. No building could replace that.
Yo, you know what? He made a good point, man. I've always wondered, like, when you're a pastor or a priest, it's like, what makes you think you could do that?
Become a pastor or preacher?
Yeah, but it's like, yo, what do you like? You just like, you think you're one of God's favorites?
Honestly, sometimes people be having epiphanies. Honestly, like,
bro, those are just called dreams. The rest of the normal people call them dreams.
You know what's crazy is that, like, so I grew up in church also, and we'll get into that later, right? But I grew up in church, and some of the people that I did grow up in that did decided to take a step in that direction, like, people have always said throughout time is that they heard God talking to them, right? And I was like, I must be like, something must be wrong with me because I've never heard God talk to me ever.
He never
right?
said what up, like
never said, hey, how you doing?
What's good,
right? I've had gut feelings about things, you know. I've had like a strong I guess conviction on certain things, but like never have I ever heard a voice in my ear and I was like, this is God speaking to me. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not where I need to be in order for that to happen. But sometimes people feel so really convicted and they're like, okay, this is God telling me that I need to become a pastor.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. So Jerron Stevenson said, born in the church, and yes, I still hold the values and keep them. As you grow, it's your responsibility to know God for yourself. In doing so, you can discern between biblical doctrine and the man-made doctrine / rules, which is made easy to keep them. So then Ahdawan said, Ahdawan, not Ahdawan, Ahdawan.
Yes, sir.
Adi, you just go with the nickname.
Adi said, what if it's something that you were taught? What if something you were taught were wrong? Would you gladly accept it and welcome it into re-education? Or would you combat it because of what you know?
Wait, so you asked, what if something you were taught was wrong?
Yeah.
That's a good question because most people, once you get brought up or just conditioned to think something's right for like a majority of your life, when you get hit with a different perspective on it and the reality of what you've been taught might be wrong, people just say, fuck that.
Right.
Like, they just start getting real combative.
Yeah. I mean, because think about it, like, your entire life has pretty much been a lie, you know? Like, you've been pretty much like, okay, these are the rules that I'm supposed to follow. This is how things are supposed to go. This is the goal that I'm heading towards. And then that gets overturned. That's like finding out your parents aren't your parents, like, as an adult. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Yeah. Like, it's all a
fucking lie, man.
Right, you feel
We're
me?
in the Matrix, bro.
Like, you trying to get a blood fusion, you like, what you mean? My parents can't donate. Why can't they donate?
What you mean you're not my dad?
Parents. Dad?
Like, y'all been lying to me my whole life. Like, who am I?
Yo, if I found out like my parents were my parents, I start calling them by their first name. Like, you're not Dad and Mama no more.
Right.
You're Gerald.
Marge
and Marge.
What's going on, Tyrone?
What else Tyrone's a real black name too.
Let's not get into that.
Well, that's one thing that's like, you know, I guess when you become like older and you start to like, I guess, start being able to make decisions for yourself, it's like you really do question things, you know, and a lot of times you realize that like the people that's supposed to have the answers don't fucking have the answers for this shit. And you end up like kind of taking a path that we've taken, you know. So I mean, so what's your story? Like what?
So what religion were you or are you?
It was Black Hebrew Israelite.
So
I shouldn't even put or associate with black because Hebrew Israelites,
the real Jews,
as we all know, are the real Jews.
Yeah, it's the people that like stand on corners with signs. Do you ever do that? Like, wherever on the corner, like yelling out at people.
Why'd you point a finger at him and start laughing?
Yo, God, I'm
Yo,
not gonna lie to you.
respect his upbringing.
I do. I respect it. I respect it. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you go to New York City and you're in Times Square and you see
with
them
the newspaper?
spazzing,
They would be.
yeah, they be spazzing on people, bro.
Really?
Yo, they would
Oh
be
my!
on- they
I
would
even
be
seen them
on-
in Canada one time.
They be on Lexington. They be around the corner. Yeah, I was there.
You on the corners?
I was
Yo,
there.
Do
holding
the
posts.
do the Israelites consider Kyrie like a prophet at this point?
I don't know what they consider him, but me myself.
Because they were writing out for him.
Yeah, they were rooting up for him. When I found out, I was still like in that. I was like, yeah, he's woke.
He's one of us.
He's one of us. But he still is one of us. Cause
Okay.
he's still, But nah.
So yo, was your dad one?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how he got.
Nah, I was born into it.
Okay.
So like, how did you? All right. So what's the process? So your dad was one, and
He
then
started when he was 19.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, before I was born.
So then your mom, I'm assuming he got your mom into it,
Yeah.
and then you came. Well, you were obviously born.
I was born into it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They were both. My dad was 19 and my mom was 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Back the older chick.
That's what I said. I was like, yeah.
Love
He
to
the-
hear it.
He's the man
So you were just raised. So you pretty much been in it since birth overall.
since birth, and
Okay.
I didn't actively started going to church until I was after my 12th birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
So your parents didn't force you to go?
No.
They got their own church. The Israelites.
The what?
The Israelites. They got their own church.
I said the what?
Your people.
Yeah.
No,
Nah,
it's the Hebrew Israelites, right? Or
Hebrew
is it?
Israelites? Yeah.
So you can't just say the Israelites. You gotta
You
say.
can say Israelites because Israelites and Hebrews are both one and the same. But
Okay.
Okay.
Israelites. Yeah, they had locations. They were throughout the U.S.
Okay.
and
Is there one in Connecticut that you guys would go to?
No, they tried to make one in Connecticut. It didn't fall through.
Okay.
So where would you guys go?
New York.
Really?
Yeah,
Yo.
every Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Oh, 3 days a week?
3 days a week. I was out there
Damn.
faithfully.
So what's the? All right. So what is a Hebrew Israelite? Like, what separates you guys from like other religions?
The truth.
Okay.
Actually, I guess breaking down the Bible to the complete understanding of what is real and what was made up.
All right. So what are some
Lord.
core beliefs of like the Hebrew Israelites?
All Hebrew Israelites are black, Hispanic, and indigenous to the Americas.
Okay.
And anyone who doesn't fit into that category is condemned.
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 Oh, y'all cooked.
Y'all done.
So only urban people could be considered that.
if you're from the hood, you good. If you're not,
Yo, hold on. What about mixed people?
mixed people,
Like, where do I stand in this?
whatever
Like, where
your-
am I going?
whatever your father was,
Oh, all right.
You're half devil.
that's
Yo,
what they would consider.
that's
you
Yo, that's crazy.
Condemned is wicked.
you have
Nah,
condemned.
to make up a whole religion where white people are all the devil.
Excluded. Well, not only white people, you got Asians, right?
You got Asians, you got Korea, you got the Japanese, you got the Chinese, you got the Africans, you got.
Wait, Africans are included though, right?
No, they are not.
What?
Damn.
Wait,
Even so
wait, hold on. This is crazy now. Not even
so only the dudes in the hood, but the Africans can't.
you had to be from America, essentially.
No. It was according to what your father was. So if you came from the seed of, because they use the word seed, pause, the seed of Shem, that's where the lineage of the Hebrews came out of.
Okay.
Ham, that's nothing but Africans. So if you're African, if you're from South Africa, East Africa, if it's just Africa, or the son of Ham or son of Ham,
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we don't fuck with pork.
you cooked.
That was terrible.
No, I think that's for real.
But yeah, that's
That's why you guys don't fuck with pork, really?
no. The
Come
reason
on, bro.
why, the reason why no, the reason why I didn't fuck with pork is because in Leviticus it talks about like
The unclean
dietary
meat
law.
Right, yeah. You can't have
When
unclean
it
meat.
comes to pork, what it says verbatim is chew the cud, but not part of the hoof, or
Right.
vice versa.
Yeah.
So it has that cloven foot, it has that hoof, but it eats everything.
But you guys your beliefs are very similar to Seventh-day Adventists. Like
A lot of religions pull whatever they want and what they agree with out of the actual genuine truth of everything in creation, and they make a movement
That's true.
and lead people with that.
right.
That's the base of religion, because religion is a man-made faith.
But the thing is that okay, so like I said, I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that like I guess separated us, so like the main beliefs, for one, obviously you had to believe in the Holy Trinity. You had to believe in that Saturday was the day of worship, like it was a Sabbath essentially.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, you had same thing. You know, you had to pretty much listen to the entire, not listen to, but follow the entire Bible. So like the difference is like, I guess, and I don't want to misspeak right now because I don't want to offend anybody, right? But most known religions right now only follow the Bible from the New Testament, whereas like Seventh-day Adventists follow the Bible, and it seems like you guys follow the Bible from
In its
the entirety. Then like we also don't eat pork. We have like a lot of the same like.
Y'all don't eat pork too?
Mm-mm. No, you can't eat pork.
Man.
You can't eat pork, shrimp, lobster, none of that stuff. Like
Yeah,
no
because
no scavengers.
It's
bro.
all unclean.
Like only fish, you have to eat fish with scales. You like he said, you have to eat animals that chew the cud and have a split hoof, and which only really lies with like cows and goats.
Yo,
and
what
shit.
I don't know who was like when they were making up rules, like how they came up with that shit.
That's in the Bible.
No, I'm just saying, like when they came up with the rules,
That's what God said.
Yeah, if
Come
God
on.
said it, that's it.
bro. You don't think that Bible like got edited at some point?
The funny thing about that is there's a lot more books that were taken out of the Bible.
Mm.
A lot more than what we think. More than just the Apocrypha, and the Apocrypha has 14 books on its own. There's more on top of that. There's the book of Enoch. There's the book of Adam and Eve. It gets deep, and for the simple fact that nobody, or what I was taught, it was just like surface level, and they said, or it was taught that those books were evil, or they were of Satan. You would never have contact with like the genuine truth.
So hold on, I'm still confused a little bit. So what is the difference between? Okay, so like we have the same beliefs. Why do you think that? I guess there's a division between the Black Hebrew Israelites and Seventh-day Adventism.
That's the thing. There shouldn't be any division, because if there's a whole body of Christ, then everyone would be in agreement, right?
That's what I would think. But I mean, like, what are
It's not.
is there a core belief that separates us from you guys? Like,
I guess it would be the religious views. Like, all right, so say I'm still in there,
Mhm.
Black Hebrew Israelite. I'm going Friday sundown, Saturday sundown.
right?
Next day, I'm going to what they used to call Hebrew Academy. That's to get into the ranking structure in the army of God.
Well, y'all have ranks?
Yeah, those ranks.
Oh,
I had one of the top.
Yo, we didn't have that. Now I'm finding out. Now I'm finding the separation.
Yeah, real
he
good.
said Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. I'm like the Sabbath. So like we're here, but now the ranking.
Nah,
You know, we ain't have
there's
that.
ranking
yo, you're a
structure.
first general like for Jesus. You know, it's like
I was a 13 shell.
how many ranks are there?
It went from recruit, from the lowest,
Okay,
to apostle, the highest.
so how many is in between?
A number. You got a recruit, then you got an officer of 100, 500, 1,000, 10,000, 5,000, 10,000,
Oh.
and then after that, a captain, and then you would start those numbers over.
Yo,
So
how do you move up in rank?
You got to put in what they call work.
It's like, you
You got to be on the
street?
streets
You
with
gotta
them
be-
newspapers,
you gotta
bro.
You gotta be on them blocks with them flyers and preaching.
Yo, is it like community hours? Like, yo, you've been spazzing on the corner for like
Just
100
be respectful, bro. Respect.
you gotta
them.
you gotta do what they say, gather fruit.
Okay,
You call it
Bringing people in.
But yeah,
Okay.
there would be people that would come in, and then you would compile a list.
Yo, and respect. Anyway. No.
Respectfully, I'm about to get
No,
respectfully. I'm
yo,
about to get disrespectful.
Yo,
Like,
at no point did somebody just wait. Yo, be like, yo, like everybody's like, yo, is this not kind of wild? Like, then nobody kind of had like, yo, I know you kind of had your awakening moment, right? Was there more people that are like, yo, this is kind of nuts? Like, we're referring to people as fruits?
Yeah. My awakening moment didn't happen until after I was 22.
So how was like your childhood being an Israelite? Like, did you have any troubles with anything, or was it cool?
I couldn't do a lot.
Okay.
I stuck out like a sore thumb.
like what? Like what were some things that not normal kids, but kids outside of the faith could do that you couldn't?
Go out.
Like you just had to go to school and come straight home?
Yeah, that was it.
I mean, I couldn't party.
I couldn't go to parties. I couldn't hang out with my friends. I couldn't.
Could you listen to secular music?
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to Kendrick.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, you listen to Kendrick.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't listen to secular music at all. I had to hide
I was
it
like,
from my
this
mom.
is why they fuck with you. And then going to church like right after.
Yo, did you date when you were in high school?
I had to date in the church, but I couldn't date outside of the church. I did not date in high school.
You had to be
really?
equally yoked.
Yeah. and back then I looked crazy in high school, so I wasn't getting any type of attention.
Like you were ugly?
Yeah. I look like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah. I still got my ID.
Really? Yo, when would you say you got unugly?
College.
College? Like, yo, what was the...
He lost the ugly.
I had the ick. This is the old one.
Is your hair straightened?
It was permed.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you wasn't getting no business.
That's crazy.
I had a relaxer. Yeah. I had it in a
girls
bun.
like niggas with long hair.
I had it in a bun and
Yo, I feel like if you look like that, you got to be tough as fuck. Like it gives me like you ever watch The Wood?
Yeah.
Like Stacy. You know how like Stacy in The Wood?
Yeah.
Like he had like straight hair, but he was like a thugged out dude. Like
I wasn't a thug, but like when you talk shit to me, I definitely had like 10 jokes to back it up because I was short.
Oh.
And then I had long hair, and everybody was calling me Snoop Dogg. They was calling me Bow Wow. They was calling me Nick Cannon. I still get that to this day. I hate it.
Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon.
I'll see Nick Cannon. I don't see it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But no, I used to get a whole lot of that. So instead of fighting, because I used to fight, I stopped fighting like 3rd grade. My mom nipped that in the bud immediately. I had to learn how to talk shit.
Okay. All right, so so middle school and high school was kind of tough for you in a sense. I mean,
Because you stuck out.
Yeah.
So, and then you went to college, kind of started figuring yourself out. When did you decide to leave the church?
It happened.
Hold on, before you get to that, what was like the first sign that like
Shit's wrong.
shit's wrong? Like that you're not really like agreeing with like some of the stuff that they were saying.
That's a good question. Hold on, because I gotta think. When I thought, and I was like, "Hey, nah, this isn't." It had to be when I had to meet with the leaders, of the church, what they call council. That's when you go above. That's when you go in front of the heads, and you give them whatever request that you have, whatever it is.
Like some Godfather shit, huh?
Yeah. There was a girl that I was interested in because I want to say my sophomore year.
Like she was interested in dating you?
Yeah, like I was interested in dating.
Okay.
She was from the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I couldn't date outside.
Wait, so you had to go and ask them for like permission?
Yes, you had to ask for permission for everything.
Yo, it's like I'm trying to get some cheeks. How can we arrange this?
Wait, permission for everything?
Permission for everything.
So like anything you guys wanted to do, you had to ask
If you
for
wanted
permission.
to travel out the state, if you wanted to go to a funeral, if you wanted to go to a wedding, if it was on a Sabbath, because that's what it's called. It's called a Sabbath.
Yeah.
What else? If you needed to take off work during the Sabbath, because you obviously work.
Yo, how
Friday,
many people are on this council?
It's usually, it used to be 3, then it went to like 5, and the number was fluctuating.
Is it all men in the council?
It was definitely all men. Yeah.
Was your dad on the council?
No.
So
Yeah, they
even if
usually
you
don't
wanted to
have-
date a girl, you couldn't. You'd have to essentially bypass your dad and go ask the council.
No, I would have. Well, traditionally, you would have to go ask your father, and you would think that's where it would end. But in that organization, no, you would have to go before them and ask them. So
Yeah, that's insane.
forget your parents. You got to go see the heads of the church to ask for permission, because
Yo,
that'll
what-
demerit whatever
Yeah,
your
what
parents
was your
say.
what was your pitch to them?
I went in there. I was like, hi.
Yeah, are you by yourself? Like, is
I was
your,
by myself.
do your
in the
parents
room.
walk in with you or not?
No.
You had
I
to ask for like a meeting, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I had
Okay.
to schedule it, and I had to email. I had to email my platoon commander. My platoon commander had to get in touch with his commander, and his commander had
Bro,
to get in touch with us.
These words that he's using right now to describe a church is insane. I
Bro,
had to my commander.
The point to ask to travel lost me. Like that's the part where I was confused
Nah,
about.
bro, to ask permission to get hoes is crazy. Like, nah, that's crazy.
Please pray for him. Please pray for this man over here. So you went to them and you said, like, what did you
I'm
say?
interested in this sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what if she's not interested in you? Like, does she
They
have
would
a?
give you the answer,
Oh, so this is.
so
So-
you would have to wait.
So they go and talk to her.
I kind of like this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
So-
you don't have to.
The leaders are basically like your distinguished wingmen.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
like
they
you don't
would
got to do no
ask,
work.
and then you would have to wait for their answer, and then you would have to come back
Bro,
and see
this-
them.
See, this is crazy as fuck, right? Because no, I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is how you could abuse your power, right? Say you're one of the guys, one of the kids they really like and see potential in, right? And now you're expressing interest in this girl. She may not have interest in you, right? But now the leaders of your church obviously want to appease you, right, to keep you on the church.
You're right.
So now they could kind of like
Swindle her.
lean on her a little harder, like, hey, this guy, this guy wants to talk to
But
you.
nah, that wasn't the case. In this case, it wasn't the case.
No, I'm just saying, but like this is a reason like why like people kind of dislike church in a sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because now there's just that abuse of power that's potentially there.
You're right. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't lie.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell the truth here, right?
For once.
This guy's wild. This guy's wild.
No, yo, because if you all right,
a
if
crazy
you tell the
comment.
truth a lot, then why would you tell me like I'm not gonna lie to you? Because that would imply to me
Not
that
gonna
you
lie.
lie
I've been
often.
lying before.
That you lie
Alright,
often.
Now I
alright,
have to
alright.
assume.
So
Yeah.
to keep it 100.
Keep it a buck.
I'm not I completely agree with like arranged marriages. Like I think that those are arranged relationships. You know, I feel like there need to be some sort of like monitor in this whole fucking situation. I feel like
there's a moderator to it, and then you see the good qualities of this person, and you see the other ones, and you just want to combine it. I get that, but
because I feel like at the rate that we're going right now, like shit is just wicked right now. You feel me? And I feel like honestly, we have to. I feel like we have to
What
say,
if you're just not attracted to the person they arrange you with?
bro, you better get with it. Like,
Which for my life?
yeah,
I just gotta eat this up.
You gotta eat it for your life, bro. You might. What's crazy is I had a conversation with
I mean, yo, you like big boot women, right? What if they just send you a flatty patty?
if she love me, we can make it work.
Nah, I'm not digging that.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, like, all right.
If I
so
can't pick my own woman, bro, that's a no for me.
I met this guy, right? I met this guy, and we were talking about kind of arranged marriages. He was Indian, and apparently, like, in a Muslim tradition, like, they have, like, arranged marriages and stuff. And he was telling me how his parents had an arranged marriage. The wildest part that I didn't agree with were they were cousins.
hey, yo, what?
But that's
His,
weird.
his parents were cousins, right? So they were
wanted
playing.
to keep it. They
That
so they were-
that bloodline
they
pure.
wanted to keep that pure bloodline.
So they were playing with each other when they were young, right? So like one uncle and aunt and the other
Were they
uncle and
first
aunt.
cousins?
Yeah,
That's insane.
we were playing with each other, right? All right, the other aunt had a play date or had a meeting or something. They saw them playing and they were like, it'd be nice if they grow up and start dating. And then like as they got older, they kept saying that. And then I think they turned 11 and then they kind of was like, let's try to make them date, right? So they made them date. They ended up liking each other. They dated and then they got married, I want to say at 16, 17,
Uh-huh.
something like that. And they've been
So
together.
this guy was the son of that marriage.
Yeah, this
Was
guy
he
was
like 100%?
yeah, from a little like
Nah, yeah,
No, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
they
from
say when
incest,
cousins
yeah.
get married, like you
the
kind of
family set that up.
yeah.
That
So
the family definitely set that up.
so he was they were married and they've been married ever since. And he was like, he when I was talking to him, I was like, I same thing. I told him I pretty much kind of agree with arranged marriages. I don't agree with that, like incest, like that's not okay. But I do think that like parents should.
What if one of your cousins is a baddie?
That's crazy as fuck, bro. I wouldn't want to date my cousin. Like,
Yeah, what if your mom, her mom, like, hey, we set this up for you. She's a baddie. Y'all get along.
all right, so I agree with the ratio. This guy's just going overboard right now. This guy's
just
going
saying.
This guy's you give this guy an inch, he fucking take
No,
a
you
yard,
agree.
bro.
Now all of a sudden you agree about
I agree
arranged
with
marriages.
arranged marriages. I don't agree with fucking incest, bro. Like,
Second cousin.
no family. Like, we can't
little
go
bit
to
of
the
blood.
we can't go to the cookout on the same
That's
thing.
how they kept bloodlines pure.
Yeah.
They started. They did these arranged marriages and started having children with second, third, fourth cousins.
But that's also why India has one of the highest rates for deformities. Also,
Do they?
Yo, them niggas look crazy.
yeah, they be having some like
Yo,
they
Indian
have.
people stay catching strays.
disrespect to them. No
They
disrespect
stay
to them.
catching
Yeah.
strays, yo.
No disrespect
Bro,
to
they be
them.
having some crazy ass deformations.
I've never noticed it.
Deformities.
Deformities?
Not deformations. Deformities. Like, crazy as fuck. And I feel like it's really the incest. Like, they're mixing too much. Like, you need to slow it down.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Personally, for me, like, I completely agree with like the whole arranged marriage thing. I think it will kind of keep marriages and relationships together longer. But so what's
the thing about marriages in that place? You can have more than one wife. So
Yo, this sounds like a great religion to be a man.
I knew he was gonna say that.
That's just
I knew he was
yeah.
gonna
You
say
could
that.
you could choose what everybody gets to do. They gotta ask you and get all the women you want. Yeah.
Nah, because what they preach in there is when you find a good woman, you find a wife, you find a good thing. So in there, if you found somebody you was interested in, you would go through the process. It would be like a courtship.
you still have to go through the council even if you are married?
Exactly. I'm glad you said council because I don't remember saying council.
You said council.
You said
Said council?
Yeah.
Damn, I was in there. But yeah, you will go before the council. If they approve it, then y'all start the courtship. Depending on how long y'all want to go forward with it. That's if y'all break the courtship having sex. So now y'all stuck together. But
So if you have sex in the religion, you're stuck together for
yeah,
life.
because in God's eyes, that's marriage.
Oh.
So if you guys have sex, you have to tell them that you had sex.
You had sex, yes, and whatever
Do they need proof?
consequences come after that, then you deserve that.
Consequences?
Yeah, you'll probably get like demoted out of your rank. You'll probably get suspended.
Yo, imagine like picking on a guy. Like, look at Jerry. He got demoted. He's over there getting ass. Loser.
I mean, but like, all right. So you get. What if you just keep it a secret that you're like having sex? Is that a possibility?
They would find out. Everybody talks.
I mean, it's just two of y'all. Y'all don't have to talk.
Somebody.
I mean,
would
people
find
do
out.
talk. People do
People
be talking.
talk. In
People-
there, people.
People do be
talk.
talking. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
I don't even know what's going on in
Yo,
there.
do you
I know
gotta
what's going on in
you
there.
gotta ask permission to have kids?
That goes into the courtship after it's approved and y'all been together for a certain amount of time and y'all both agree that y'all want to make it happen. Then both of y'all have to go in front of this council and
Okay.
be like, "Hey,
Trying to procreate.
yeah,
All right. So you go to the council
mm,
and you ask for. You say that you're interested in this young lady,
mm."
and then what happened after that?
They gave me her answer right on the spot.
Wait,
Oh,
they knew her answer for her.
No, the leader of the church knew the answer without asking her because he was interested in her.
Oh.
Wait. The leader?
The
Oh.
leader of the whole entire group.
How old was this girl?
She was my age.
And how old was
At
this
the
guy?
time, he was my father's age.
How old was the girl?
My age.
Well, what was
A
your
little bit younger
age?
than that. I was 19 at the time. She had to be like 18.
Oh, so she was legal.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like 35, 36.
Yeah, but you see my point of the abusing power, right? Like, so he right there, he's like, I want her, so I'm gonna deny you her.
I was like, I'm requesting her to, for a courtship because back in there, I had the rank, I had the looks. I mean, you're not turning me down.
Yeah.
So when I went in front of him. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling her.
Did-
What's up? And he was like,
Nah, she ain't feeling you, bro.
nah, she not feeling you, bro. Get out.
You know what I'm imagining? You know when you're at your job,
Mm-hmm.
you want to like take PTO,
Yeah.
you got to fill out a slip. Is it a slip? You guys like,
Yes.
it's a paper slip.
It's a paper slip, and you got to turn it in.
Huh.
You got to turn it in before Tuesday.
There's a date? You got to.
Yep, Tuesday before 6 p.m. I was in there.
My guy was committed.
That's gonna be the hook
Mhm.
for this whole topic. That's gonna be the hook.
I was in there.
All right, so that was like one of your biggest red flags, right? When
That was a big red flag.
So what
because
did he say
started-
to you exactly?
No, she's not interested.
You
just
can't
had-
even- you
you
can't
just had to
even-
turn around and
Yo,
walk
can
away.
you
That was
appeal it?
I had to say thank you.
Can you appeal it?
If you appeal it, you wicked.
Oh,
Because what he said was law. That was it. He was supposed to be the Holy Spirit that came into the flesh.
yeah. See, that's that thing with that dude Serge commented, right? Like people are flawed, and this is like he's showing exactly what he means. Like this is a flawed person abusing his power.
Did they ever like date?
No, he didn't get the chance.
Why?
He died
Damn, bro, what the
Oh.
fuck?
Like shortly after?
in 2020.
Like from you, or are you admitting this right now?
COVID.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I didn't do
You
it.
cough on him? You cough on him?
I didn't have COVID. I was in quarantine. He lived in where he lived.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not gonna say that. No respect. No disrespect to his family.
Nah, that's crazy. All right, so he didn't get an opportunity to date her. So that was your first sign. So then, like, what pushed you to ultimately make the decision to be like, okay, like I'm out of here?
I was in a courtship with this.
Oh, so you did another? Like you applied for someone else?
Yeah, I applied for someone else.
Okay.
It was during Hanukkah.
Okay.
During
we
Hanukkah, they
don't do
have
that.
like parties or whatever. You get to go out, have fun.
Oh, y'all get the party? Like,
Yeah.
Yo, is that kind of like your Rumspringer in a sense? Like Amish people have something called Rumspringer, like when they
Where you get to like
party and kind of
relax.
experiment and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was one of those times.
Okay.
Wait, like what? What is it?
So Amish people, I think once they turn 18 or something, there's a certain age, they do something called Rumspringer where they leave their religion and they get to like live.
Get to be humans.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. But
For like
they
how
could-
long? Do you know?
it's up to them.
Really?
But once they come back, they're in for life. But some people never come back.
Some of them will be waiting for that opportunity
Yeah.
to leave.
Yeah, that's like when they get to have sex, try drugs, drinking, all that stuff. Like that's like so they kind of give the people a chance to like experience life and see if
and
that's
it's
what
not
they're
frowned upon or anything when
No,
you go
it's
to
like that's tradition.
Nah, they
Really?
let them go.
Oh,
Yeah.
never knew that. So you're courting this new girl.
Yeah. Back in how old was I at this time? I was like in between 19, 20 years old. I was in there for a long time. Yeah, we was kicking it.
Y'all have sex?
Nah, I didn't touch her
Yo, how long were you a virgin for?
until I was 22.
You were a virgin till 22?
Yeah. I was in
Yo,
there.
are y'all allowed to jerk off?
No.
Or you got to run that by the council?
Come on.
No, if you
I'm just kidding. I ask.
No. If you ran that by the council, you would get like penalized. You get points, or you would have to go to like Lions Den. Or
I mean, bro, think about it. You can't.
no, because it's considered a sin.
No, I understand that, but he's like making it seem like I'm fucking bugging right now. Like, yo, at 16, I was touching my dick every 30
I'm not
minutes.
asking this man if he jerked off. I'm starting there, bro.
It's part of the religion. You.
Please.
I don't know, man.
That's
I feel like that was.
that's
I feel like you wanted to know this question. Like,
nah, because he said he couldn't. He lost his virginity at 22. So I'm wondering like if you know.
you
not only was-
self-pleasured.
Yeah, but he
Nah.
said it's considered a sin, right?
Yeah, because not only was I an Israelite, but I had a double whammy. Because my father told me this story. He couldn't have kids.
Okay.
At all. So, and he was also an atheist at the time. He was like 18, 19.
Okay.
He finally hit like rock bottom in his life, and he prayed.
Mm-hmm.
He prayed to God. He was like, "Yo, if you give me a son, I will turn my whole life around."
Oh.
Here I am.
Okay.
He turned his life around. Not only did he have me, but he had a plethora of children.
Oh, so when like God opened up the gates for him, you really opened them.
He opened
Yeah.
them gate. He took the doors off the
Word.
hinges.
Wait, so he was 19 and realized he couldn't have kids?
I guess he found out like within that time frame. Yeah.
Like medically, or he just wasn't getting anybody
That's-
pregnant?
He couldn't have any kids.
Just
I
such
was
an
his
early age.
firstborn, so his vow to God, he said, excuse me, I will give my son to you if I could have a son.
Okay.
And in the Bible, there's a vow of a Nazarite where you would separate yourself from everyone. And I was under that as well. I couldn't cut my hair. I couldn't get shape ups. I couldn't do nothing.
Oh, that's why you had like the long. Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't have any strong drinks, alcohol, wine. I couldn't eat grapes.
You can eat green grapes.
No, I couldn't eat grapes at all.
Or the fermentation?
They grew on a vine.
Love green grapes.
And then as an added bonus, he added this himself. I couldn't talk to girls. I couldn't deal with women. So from like ages of like, as far as I can remember, to 5 up to when I was like, all right, regardless of what my dad says, what's up, ladies? That had to be, I was like 16. So from there to there, I was just tunnel vision on the Bible, tunnel vision on the church.
When you made a decision to talk to girls, how did he take it?
He was mad.
Really?
He was upset because he was still in there too. He was drinking the same juice I was drinking. So as a father, he was disappointed. So he was like, "Yo, I made this promise to God. You sitting here fumbling,
Right.
making me look crazy.
You're the
Right.
chosen one, bro.
You
You
the
look,
chosen
yeah.
one, bro. What are you doing? You making me look stupid.
I begged for you.
Yeah.
All right.
I prayed for you. What are you doing?"
That would have made me forward. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like
So
you
every time
you
I
prayed
messed
for
up, he'd be like, "Bro, you know I prayed for
I
you.
prayed for you. I would be
Yeah,
like,
I don't
damn,
got- nobody ever hit me with that shit.
I was shooting blanks, bro. You was the first one.
bro. I don't think I could have handled
You
it.
gonna
I
make
ain't
me
gonna lie
look
to you.
crazy
You know what's
out here?
crazy?
I would have
though?
walked back to my room and
It'd be
cried.
kind of
nigga.
funny if like all the chicks that he was fucking at that time just couldn't get pregnant on their own. Like it wasn't him.
That might be the plot twist.
Yeah.
He got my mom.
They're probably
pregnant,
not
bro.
ovulating. You know, like
He
You
got
know what I'm
my
saying?
mom
Like, yo,
pregnant,
maybe he's
bro.
just hitting him on the wrong week.
right.
He got my mom's. And he was in the military at the time, but he was still in there. That's when he was introduced to what is called the truth. He was introduced to it at that time. And when my mom found out she was pregnant with me, she was on her way to Florida.
Okay.
My dad was stationed in San Antonio, and that's where my grandmother lived because she was in the military as well. He was like, "You're not taking my son to Florida. You're coming here with me." And I was born in Texas, and that's where it all started.
Okay.
The church had their own little division in Texas, but it went straight to hell. Men were messing with other men's wives. They were forcing other men to pay rent for other people's houses. It was really corrupt out there. So the leaders of the church in New York, the headquarters, they told us to move to Connecticut. So I moved to Connecticut when I was 7 or 8 years old. And I didn't start going to church until I was 12, right after my 12th birthday. My dad gave me the talk.
So that was the transition for you to get over here. So then, backtracking a little bit. So then, what was the decision that made you to be like, okay, I'm done? So you were talking to the girl, or you went to the council, and then
You got denied for the first go, and you got
I got the okay from the second girl because it was during Hanukkah. It was during a love party.
Okay.
I was dressed. I came
prepared.
I came
Dressed to the
prepared.
T's.
Okay.
Man, I had on white felines
Oh, you had that shit on.
with the gum bottoms.
Had that
With
shit
the gummies.
with the gummies.
Okay.
All right. So
Nobody was seeing me.
you got the and then
We started dancing with each other, and then after that,
What kind of dancing y'all do? Like frontwards, like
during Hanukkah, you could touch.
okay.
So
That's so odd to me that like that's like the like
touch.
the I would think that'd be like the most religious time of all. Like
Oh,
where
yeah.
like where shit would be like
unlock.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's the celebration of joy and gladness. So it was 8 days of joy and gladness, and that's when a lot of the restrictions were lifted.
Okay.
So during this time, it was called the love party. That's where you would actually go and actually try and
This sounds like a Diddy party.
meet someone.
No, that's
Yo,
no.
I mean, that's what he was calling them shits, right? Like love
Yeah,
party.
he was
called-
calling love
the
parties.
leader of the church named them love parties. So I met Shorty there. We danced. We hit it off. She was like, "Let me get your email."
I mean, I remember those days though. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah,
days.
but how old were you at this point?
I was
What year is this?
2010, 2011.
Yeah, that's like email.
All right,
days.
okay, that's still email.
That's like chick days.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Was it
AIM,
AIM is still popping.
Yeah.
Like AIM is almost at that decline, but all right, okay.
That's like right in that time.
At that time, I had a HTC, so yeah, I was.
I had a HTC too. That shit was lit.
I had the M6, so
Okay.
it was lit. I sent her my email. We started chatting or whatever. Then we was like, "So you feeling me?" She was like, "Yeah, you feeling me?" I was like, "Oh, for sure." She was like, "All right, so we gotta go to the heads of the church." So I had to go by myself because obviously I'm the man and I got the last say.
Yeah.
They was like, "You like this girl?" I was like, "Yeah." They was like, "All right, bet." Long story short, so we started courting. The rules were the courtship: you can't touch at all, no physical contact, none,
I'm out of here, man.
none whatsoever. And let me tell you, I was the type of young man that followed the rules to the T.
Okay.
I did not.
Yo, you
touch
probably
her.
slapped her hand if she tried to touch you.
Get away from me, Satan. Why
I'm telling on you.
I'm telling on you. Why would you do that? And you know how I feel about you. But nah. We was good for like 9 months. After that, she told me she was going on vacation. She went to Virginia. She went to some beach in Virginia. And then after that, that's when the domino effect started.
Domino effect as far as what?
Like your relationship with her?
My relationship with her and my overview about the whole entire church.
All right, so like
That's
what?
when everything started to unravel.
So then, like, you made the decision, like, okay, you're about to like leave the church, I guess.
I didn't get to that part yet.
All right,
Because
so
I was at the time she was on vacation.
Mhm.
You know, I'm still checking in with her to make sure she's good. She's on vacation. I'm 18, 19 years old. I
Yeah.
have no education on how to deal with women.
right.
She's on vacation.
So what? Like you're hounding her?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's my shorty.
Yeah.
I'm used to the 24/7 communication.
Communication, right?
So she wasn't answering at all. So you know where a nigga mind go when
You're
they
like this
don't
fucking
respond.
Jezebel.
This infidel.
I should have let her touch me.
I should have just held her hand.
Right.
I should have just like, excuse me, I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yo, I don't even think I consider you dating if I can't touch you. Like we're not. You're just my homie.
Bro, we was just friends. We was going out on dates. I live in Connecticut. I was going out to Philly to go see this girl. She lived in Philadelphia.
Oh, this is.
This is getting worse by the minute.
Yo. I was in there.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks, because I had a good job at the time, I was able to travel or whatever. So every 2 weeks I was going to see her, make sure. When she was on vacation, I would go to her city and still, you know, participate in the Sabbath or whatever, hang out with her family because she wasn't there. So I was there. Everybody was cool with me out there. When she came back, she was like, I can't do this no more.
Oh,
Did she
she
give you a ride?
got. She got touched.
She gave you the why?
When it comes to courtships, if you want to end them, you don't need a reason.
Okay.
But again, mind you, I said, I ain't deal with no women.
Don't tell me you lost your shit.
I lost my shit. Nobody gave me the talk. Nobody gave me the birds and the bees. Nobody
You gotta
educated me
just eat
on
that one and
anything.
Oh, you like spazzed out?
I went.
Don't tell me you
down.
start crying.
I cried. In the
Oh.
car. I cried in the car.
My nigga did a Tyrese thing.
And I'm glad those
Yeah, you
windows
punched
was
the
tinted
you
because I
punched the
was
steer.
like,
You punched the steering wheel.
Nah. It wasn't my car. It was
Okay.
my mom's car.
Oh.
I'm sorry for laughing.
I was like,
Yo, you ever watch the movie Hitch?
yes,
Was that like that? Kind of like when you got the news, just like
yeah. There was a movie where somebody was punching the air in the rain.
okay,
It was like that.
okay.
I was destroyed.
I mean, I was
And
just,
I didn't know what to do with those emotions. I wrote them down on a piece of paper. Nobody gave me to talk. My dad didn't give me to talk because he was so for the church.
Yeah, right.
He wasn't there. So I didn't have an outlet to ask like how to deal with those emotions.
Okay.
So the best thing that I knew how was the only thing that I knew, go to the church, because they know God. God knows my heart.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to steer me wrong. I went to the church. When it was time to end the relationship, they asked me why. I was like, ask Shorty. She the one who want to end it. I want to end it because she want to end it. So when they asked her, she was like, he's too clingy, giving. I feel cramped, giving. I just wouldn't feel like I have any space, given.
So you were blown in a different state.
I was blown away because everything that she was telling me, she's telling the heads of this church, contrary to what I said.
But you were blowing her up on vacation.
Not OD. Like I was texting her like maybe twice a day.
Yeah, but you said she wasn't answering, so you were like spazzing.
Yeah, I was on my bunk bed like, yo, man.
fuck these hoes, man.
Right.
I was like, yo, these girls ain't
Your
right,
heart
man.
was yearning for her. But that's like that young love. You feel me? Like you.
I was young.
Yeah.
Yo, what's that Lil Wayne song?
What's up?
That fucking Lil. Every time I was going through some shit, these hoes ain't loyal.
Okay.
I would blast that shit anytime I went through some shit, bro.
But like I said, nobody gave me that talk. Nobody like consoled me or anything. Like, yo, you're gonna be good. This is just growing pains. Is you being introduced to,
It's your first relationship, first heartbreak. I mean, you can't really prepare someone for your first heartbreak.
And the thing is like I'm not even talking to the person. Like they know my business. Like
that's
like all of them know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, what made it worse was I wrote a letter, and then I brought that letter to the meeting of me going into when I went to council.
Yeah.
I brought that the letter, and the head of the church, he read it aloud. So it was me, this girl, the leader, and 4 other people. He read that joint aloud. After he read it, he was like, "You're mad obsessive.
Ooh.
You are a creep."
To your face?
To my face.
In front of her?
He said it in front of me. He said it in front of her. He said it in front of all these people.
Damn.
I see why you left the church.
He even went as far as making a joke. He was like, "Yo, sister, if you see this man across your street, call the cops because he will do some crazy shit to you."
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
They're making a
19
joke.
years
They're
old.
making a joke out of your heartbreak in front of you.
I'm 18, 19 years old, 20, and I'm like, "Yo, I thought she loved me. She said she loved me.
Yeah.
What's good?" And then he even went as far as like, he was like, "You know what? Let me talk to you one-on-one." He pushed everybody to the side. He pulled everybody out the room. He asked me 2 questions. He's like, "How old are you?" I was like, "Okay, I was 21." I was like, "I'm 21." He was like, "You still a virgin?" I was like, "Yeah." And then he just gave me a look. He was like,
Aren't we supposed to be?
"Aren't we supposed to be? Like, you're supposed to save yourself.
Yeah.
Ideally, you're supposed to save yourself for somebody that you would think you would spend your life with."
Right.
That's what I thought I was doing.
Yeah.
I was doing the right thing. He gave me the craziest look.
What?
Because he's like, "You not getting no cheeks, bro?"
Lame ass.
You listening to me?
And then he called everybody back in the room. And then
Yo, guess what this nigga just said?
He just started going in. That's when he belittled. He called me obsessive. He called me a creep. He called me so many names. And this is
a church leader.
This is supposed to be the Holy Spirit manifested in the flesh. He's supposed to know what God knows.
They pushed you out of there, yo. They pushed you out of there.
God knows my heart. So I'm going there with the faith that, oh, nah.
He knows what I want.
He knows that I'm hurting. I'm going to get the advice that I need. I'm going to be consoled with this situation. Even though it's ending, I'm going to get a good turnout.
Oh.
I went out feeling worse than I already did. And when I told my dad, immediately after, he was still in there too. He was like, "Yo, there's something wrong with you." Because again, he was still on the same juice that I was on.
So he's on their side.
He was on their side.
Wait, hold on.
I literally had nobody.
What did you write in this letter?
Good
Like,
question.
what was in there for them to like?
Like I want to wear your skin.
All right. I was like, okay, so this relationship has been completely one-sided. I'm going to see her. She's not coming to see me.
Valid.
I'm spending all the bread. She's not spending nothing.
Valid.
She not even going 50-50 with you.
I'm giving her gifts. She's giving me bare minimum. This is a one-sided relationship. I don't feel like this is fair.
Yo, so kind of a typical relationship.
Right.
All right.
So
He read it aloud.
So how is that? How is he gathering that you're obsessive based off of that?
The way I guess I was carrying myself at the time, I was heartbroken.
Do you feel all right? So now looking back at the age you are now, coming away from it, looking back at it, do you feel like you were obsessive?
No, I feel like I was heartbroken, and I didn't know how to deal with those emotions because I wasn't taught how to deal with those emotions.
So I've been in a similar place in life, right? Very
because I
similar
was
place.
when I tell you I was ignorant of like life
Right.
in general, I was ignorant because all I know was ICGJC. That's the name of the cult. It's Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ.
I thought you was doing like what would Jesus do? But that wasn't the right acronym for that.
Nah.
My bad. But I've been in a similar. I did been in a similar place in life, and I was pretty much like 19 years old to one of my first like real relationships, I would say, and like looking back. So in the moment, I was like, I'm in love, right? And then looking back, I realized that I was obsessive. You feel me? And it was like my actions were. I was obsessive and I was super territorial, right? And I went to my mom and I was talking to my mom about it, like trying to get like some advice. My mother's super religious also, and she was just like, well, did you pray about it? And then she started giving me Bible scriptures on it, and I'm like, Mom, like I don't need to hear this. Like I need to hear like I need actual advice.
I don't need you to be a preacher. I
right?
need you to be a mom.
Exactly. Okay. And like could not separate the two. You feel me? And
that's how my parents were.
Right. And but looking back, I was able to identify like, okay, like I was being kind of crazy. Okay. I was doing
back,
a bunch.
I was like, yo, where you at?
That's what I
had her location, but she turned that shit off. I was like, yo, where you
at? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you probably was giving creep vibes. I mean, I think he's still wrong for coming at you that.
Yeah,
like,
that's not
making
that's
a joke
not
out of this situation. That was a teachable moment. Yo, that was probably one of your like most pivotal moments in the church, right? Where you're like, this could have, if he didn't behave in that manner.
Oh, there's a whole nother reason.
You might we can get into that, but I'm saying if he didn't behave in that manner at that point, right? That might have swayed you to stay, but like that's like, yo, they just kept doing things to kind of like push you away, which I'm sure you have another example, but that's I'm going through like the worst moment of my life,
and I'm not having no support right now,
and this is a joke,
and you're clowning me on top of it. Like
I went home alone.
You probably went home. I would have went home sick. Like, that would have been fucked up for weeks. Like
I was playing. I'll never forget this. I was on the 125th train. I was playing Isaiah Rashad the entire way home.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with his music.
He's part of TDE.
Okay. Team. Oh, yeah. That's why I don't know this guy. Who is this guy?
Because you're a fan.
No, so you say you was playing the entire way home sick.
It calmed me down because without playing those songs, I was in shambles.
Yo, were you crying in the subway?
No, I didn't cry.
Okay, all right.
I didn't cry at all.
Okay. All right, I believe you. I believe you.
I shed one tear. All right, it's just one tear.
No, I was so in shock. I had no emotions about it.
Okay. All right, so
like, not only was I belittled in that room, my dad didn't support me. I couldn't even tell my mom because she wouldn't understand. I'm like, I'm really all alone in this.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that hit me at once. I had no time to.
Yo, did you have like a boy? Like, you have any like good male friends at this point that you could have?
Yeah, I had boys, but they all broke the courtship rule.
Oh, they was out there.
Why are you snitching on them? They might be still in it.
They with them now.
So you were just going hard as fuck on your own, like, cause your friends was out there fucking.
Yeah.
Okay.
They was getting to it.
Okay.
I was the only one like God needs.
Like you losers.
That's why the chief was like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yo, that's crazy as fuck. The top guy's like, yo, you really following this shit? Nah, like, come on, for real. Like,
that's crazy. That's a crazy comment.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like.
But that's like, the way you described, the way he looked at you, like, bro, you like, come on.
But the situation that actually, like, I was like, nah, this is.
All right, so that's like that was your first big sign.
That was the first big red flag.
All right, so then what happened?
The next one was because everybody knew me from New York to Philly, and other states. they knew where I was from. I'm from Connecticut,
Okay.
Yeah.
so I would travel to New York every weekend.
Mm.
But at the time, when all of this transpired, this had to be like 2017, 2018. I just moved out of my parents' house.
Okay.
So I'm working on my own. I'm living on my own. I'm starting to figure out real life. Travel expenses. I couldn't make it out there as much as I was supposed to.
Mm.
So I was summoned because you will get called to a council. You get summoned to council. I was summoned to council because I was missing days. He was like, yo, where you at?
Mm-hmm.
Why you not here? So I had a full mapped out transportation log of where I would be, what time it took me to get there, the trains that I had to take, how much it would cost. I gave them all that information because they was asking about where I am. And I said, it's work. I have to work to survive. I just moved out. I can't be everywhere all the time like I used to because I was living with my parents. I just moved out. So
Did you move out on your own? Like, cause you
I moved out completely.
they didn't kick you out or anything like that?
No,
Or
I
you just
moved out
you wanted the
completely on my
freedom.
own. Yeah, I was ready.
Okay.
That also deals with the girl I was dealing with. She was like, yeah, let's get a place. So
Yeah, but the courtship at this point.
yeah, the courtship was broken.
Okay. Once the chief
This-
talked to you, you were like, I'm
This is
done.
this
Yeah,
is
it
the
was
this is the
broken
second
off.
girl.
It was broken off.
Nah, this is a
the
different
first
girl.
This is the first girl. It was broken off. I planned on leaving because we were gonna get this place together. She was gonna move out here.
Wait. The
After
first,
that-
you went back to the first one?
No, this is still the first one.
The girl that
No,
ended up
second one.
the girl that ended up
Oh,
break.
the second one. Oh, the second girl I asked about. Yeah, no, yeah, this is the second girl.
Okay,
But
okay.
we
Hold
were
on, I'm
supposed to-
confused. So you had the first girl you got denied.
Yeah.
There's
The
this,
second girl
the
broke
second
up
girl
with
that
you.
broke your heart.
Yes.
You smashed the second girl that broke your heart.
No. Didn't
There's a
happen.
third girl.
So there's a
No,
third
there's
girl.
no third girl.
You said this. You said you was with your girl.
How
You and
we
your
get
girl
to number
moved out.
3?
You said you and your girl moved out.
No.
Oh, you-
I moved out by myself.
I'm confused now.
Yo,
Okay,
so all
let me
right.
give you. Let me backtrack.
all
All
right.
right. So, the second girl, I was dealing with her,
The one that broke your heart.
the one that broke my heart.
Okay.
She's no more.
Okay.
Before we broke up, we were talking about getting a place.
Mm.
I got the place.
Okay.
She broke up with me before we got the place.
All
So
right.
I got the place. I got everything. in my
Oh,
name.
okay.
She broke up with me weeks before.
But you
So-
didn't smack that one.
No.
Okay.
So I got this place by myself.
All right.
She was supposed to be there, but she's not.
Uh-huh.
So I'm alone
All right.
dealing with that. I'm going to work and I have to show face there. I gave them all the information that they needed to show proof that, I live in Connecticut. It's going to take me a while to get here. So stop bugging out. They was like, one of the leaders of the church, she was like, all right, you brought all the proper information or whatever. We're going to give you a warning, but we're not going to let this slide. I'm gonna give you Lion's Den. No, I'm gonna give you Leviathan's Den. Leviathan's Den is a set of drills, physical drills that you have to do.
Giving them prison workouts, yo.
But I was eating them back in the day. You said what? Leviathan's Den for a month? Give me that. I don't care.
Like, dude, you got to record yourself doing it, or they just take your
No,
word?
no. There would be a designated amount of people, and they would monitor you while you did it. But back then, I was able to lift literally anything. You giving me Leviathan's Den, that's light work. That's me like,
Okay.
it was light. After that, I thought I was scot-free. The leader of the church comes out of the back room. He's like, nah.
This nigga hated you, bro.
He didn't like you.
He hated you from day one. Like you wanted to talk to his girl.
You have no excuse. He was like, you got to be here just like we all got to be here. Mind you, this man has multiple cars, multiple addresses. He can get to wherever he wants to at any given moment because he has everybody in the palm of his hand. I'm just me. All I have
You're
is
a kid.
me. All I got is me.
Yeah.
I'm 19, 21 years old.
You know what I think did it for you? The first girl. I'm starting to piece it together. He was jealous of you wanting the first girl, and he hated you since then.
Yeah.
Feel like ever since then.
Because he knew I had
Everything for him to out you like that, that's crazy. So that's like some real
I
hater
showed
shit.
up to the
Like,
Hanukkah party and he double took. He was like, "You
This
here, bro?
this dude's here.
Oh, you here?"
I'm telling you, it's you because you wanted his girl. He just you.
I didn't even know he wanted her at the.
But
at this
you
time.
just fucked up. You should have picked somebody else.
Man, nah. That was just a course of events that was take.
Happen how it happened.
It
Right.
happened how it happened, and it led me here.
So he comes from the back and he says, "Nah, like
He's like, nah, I don't agree with that. You have no excuse. I gave you train times, bro. That train brings me from Bridgeport to Harlem in approximately 2 hours and 53 minutes. I will get here at 10:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I gave him every detail. He was like, you still have no excuse. You know what, matter of fact? Let me get your rank. So what they called, it was demotion. They call it busted. I had to take off a garment that I paid $500 for out of my money that I had no control over. I had to give it
But
back
you're
to them.
paying them the $500.
I paid them for that.
Yo,
And
so
I had
they're
to give it back.
probably getting this like thing at fucking Dollar General, and you're paying $500 for it.
bro, don't even talk shit to this nigga. We did the same thing."
So after that, he was
Not
like,
that bad.
after that,
We
he
was
like-
You're right. We was there. Not that bad though.
We
Not
was
that-
there.
not
We
that
was
bad.
there, bro. We was there.
This is a one-time purchase.
Oh, damn.
We was there.
Okay.
After that, he was like, the only thing you got to worry about is just showing up. All your responsibilities, everything you were in charge of, you don't have to worry about that anymore. That's it. And then after I left that room, they was like, you got to wait for him to say okay to come back. I was like, what you mean? I got to wait for him to say okay again after I just saw him and he told me he degraded me and took everything that I hold dear, basically, at that time.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me I got to wait to come back after I just seen this man? He was like, yep. I was like, okay. Bet.
Like to come back to the church.
To come back to church.
Oh, this
I
sounds
still
like
gotta
a.
wait.
I mean, was this a big thing to you? Because I'd be like, all right, bet. Like I'm not coming back. Like, yeah, I don't gotta take the train now. Like they.
I was done. I was over that. I told my dad, I was like, no, I'm not going back.
That was your last
I
trip.
was done.
Okay. And what year? How old were you at this point?
I was 20, 21.
So 2021. You're 21.
At
He
the
was
time,
20
yeah.
or 21.
Okay. And what year?
2013.
2013.
No. 2015.
2015. Are you still a virgin at this point?
Yes.
Okay. So now you left the church, right? Is there like repercussions at this point? Like, are they kind of coming for you, or are they trying
After
to?
you leave, you the devil.
I'm saying, but do they like press you a little bit? Do they come like hunt you down type shit?
Nah, if anybody cared about you in there, they'd be like, yo, you gotta come back. Yo, you gotta make it. You gotta get right with God. Yo, you gotta.
Did anybody say that to you?
Yeah, a lot of people were hitting me up like, yo, I'm praying for you.
How did your dad take you leaving the church?
He supported me.
He supported you? That's surprising.
I told him everything that happened. He was like, nah, that's not right.
Really?
You're not gonna treat my son like that.
But he's still a member.
No.
He left the church too.
Yeah.
So both y'all left.
After I told him what was going on and how they were dealing with me, he was like, nah, you don't treat my son like that.
And your dad was in the church for like 30 something years, right?
He was in
He
there.
committed you to God.
He's the one who introduced me. Yeah. And the way they were dealing with me, he was like, nah, y'all not gonna deal with my son like that. Nah, this can't be. He was going through his own issues based off of how they were dealing with me.
Okay.
And that end result with me and him leaving at the same time.
Okay. So now you're essentially. So at this point, do you become an atheist?
No, I still believe, but to them, I was an antichrist. I was a devil. I was a demon.
That's crazy.
Everybody
You're one of the white folk.
basically, there was a text message that went out, and I seen the text message because I was in the group chat. They're like, he is no longer a member of this church. My sister, one of my blood relatives, she was my shadow. She was my twin. She was like, yeah, you just like them. You just like one of them demons out there.
Oh, she cut you off.
She cut me off too. And this was alongside with everybody that I held dear at that time. So I was literally on my own.
Oh man,
Nobody.
this Kool-Aid was sweet.
Yeah, shit was sweet. They added Splenda and Domino.
So what are some things that you realized like after leaving the church?
There's a scripture in the Bible. Apostle Paul said we ought to obey God rather than man. They honor and reverence and obey the leader of that church. His name was Jermaine.
That's the guy. He passed away.
Yeah.
Okay.
His name was Jermaine. They held him in a higher reference than God.
Mm.
So once I seen that, you know the commandments.
Yeah.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images,
Yeah.
any idols, or no
Well,
service.
yeah, false prophet.
Exactly. False prophet.
I guess
it
that's
says
one
in the
of the-
Bible. It says in the Bible, if you see a prophet and they prophesy and it doesn't come to pass, you're supposed to flee from them. They did not. They defended him even with everything that was going on with him because he definitely committed federal crimes. He embezzled mad money from the church. He took millions.
Yeah,
He robbed everybody. He
Giving
robbed
like-
Sounds
me.
about right.
It's giving like Joel Osteen
He robbed
vibes.
He robbed me. He robbed.
No,
my
that's like
pops,
Jim
he robbed
Jones
my
vibes.
moms, he robbed my sisters. He robbing everybody. He robbed everybody blind. And the type of person that he was able to connect using scriptures to his advantage to gather more people.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, that's typically what happens, though. They usually end up like just converting the Bible or turning the Bible
But
in a
did
way
not
to
follow
like
it.
to that appeases them, and that's one of the issues that like I guess Seventh-day Adventists have with Catholicism. You know, it's like a very similar thing to where like they put the priest ahead, like almost as if he's God. You know, they go to him to like as be like their intercessor in
They
between
started-
them and between them and God.
In that church, they started to quote DVDs that he came out with rather than the Bible.
DV like oh, he was making
He was making
like smack
He was
smack
making-
DVDs.
Yeah, he was making DVDs of his teachings and the breakdowns, and if it wasn't broken down in that way,
Yo, you know it's kind of
then it
crazy.
was
He was
incorrect.
kind of ahead of his time in a sense, because now with social media, this guy would be having like millions of followers. Yo,
This guy was a social media. What is it called?
a mogul.
What's the? Oh, forget it.
But yeah, he was definitely one of those. He was one of
All
those
right.
guys.
Social media influence.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah, he would be an influencer to the T.
sorry, man. You're like 21, 22.
Yeah.
You leave the religion as well as your. I mean, so your parents leave the religion as well, right? I'm assuming your mom followed your dad.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you like? Where are you at in life now at this point, right?
Lost identity.
Lost identity, right? Like
Yeah, because the one question that popped into my head was a question that my dad asked me when I was younger, prior to this happening. He was like, "Your name is Hebrew. How are you gonna live out in the world with a Hebrew name?" At that time, I didn't understand what I said, but I understand what I said when I said it now.
Okay.
I said, "I'm gonna live," because I was set aside from literally everybody that I've ever come into contact with, because I was an Israelite and I was a Nazarite.
Okay.
Your name is Ahdawan Ra'im. That means Lord of Thunder.
Okay, Thor.
Thor has nothing on me.
Oh.
He was like, "How you gonna live with a name like that?" And I said, out of ignorance at the time when I was younger, I was like, "I'm gonna live."
That's funny. My name is in Portuguese means king.
Hold on to that.
I do. I think I'm better than people.
You're a king.
Funny enough, my name is God of War.
For real?
No.
Whatever your name means, you live up to it, whether you know it
Adrian.
or not.
Adrian. No, it actually is a strong man.
Strong man. Yeah, whatever your name is, whether you know it or not, you live up to it.
Yeah, that's
And
why I don't like when people mispronounce my name. I think that shit very personal.
I take that to the utmost disrespect.
Especially after I correct you a couple of times. You know, I give people like chances. You know,
I
like
give you 3 times.
What do you get?
me, I get Brino and Bruno a lot, or Brano. Sometimes they'll just put a Y in there.
I can see Brano.
No,
I can see
you don't
Bray.
see shit.
I
All
can see
right?
Bray.
Respect it. Respect the king when you see one. All right.
Right.
Nah, my name has always been.
I mean, you do have a hard ass name.
It's not even that hard.
That shit is long as fuck.
But
What's that
it's
like?
not
That's
hard.
at least 15 letters.
It's 11.
That's almost the length of my first name and my last name. My first name and last name is 12.
I have more names than that.
That's crazy.
I got 5.
All right, man. So you leave the church. What do you do now? Like how are you moving through
I
life?
had to figure out life.
Okay.
And that's
I mean,
I wasn't talking to my parents at the time, so I couldn't go to them for advice.
Like, were you upset with them? Or you just couldn't
No, I
talk to them
wasn't.
like on that
I
level?
couldn't talk to them
On that level, okay.
because I was literally alone. I just moved out. I wanted to like assert my independence,
All
so
right.
I wanted to make sure like they knew I was okay regardless.
you was good on your own type shit.
Yeah, but when I got into that crib, it was over. I was lost. I had no sense of like identity or anything about myself.
So when did you find your identity?
I started taking photos.
Okay.
I started getting creative. I started hanging out with my cousins and a couple of good friends of mine.
Are your cousins in the religion or no?
Nah,
Okay.
nobody else. Just my
Right.
immediate family.
Mm.
Yeah, I started taking photos in front and behind the camera, and I fell in love with it.
Okay.
I found something I enjoyed, and I just dove into that.
Yo, cause you have a daughter.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I think when
That
a man
happened
meets a
after.
woman and they love you, they truly love each other.
Were you in the room? Did he come to counsel with you? I'm asking him.
Nah,
Did he ask you for permission? No.
nah, that happened after.
Okay. Now I'm assuming afterwards. Like, was this kind of like your first
This was my
girlfriend
first-
post leaving the
Yeah.
religion?
This had to been like immediately after though.
Was it immediately after?
It had to been.
Yeah, nah. It was like.
I
a
mean, yo,
year.
like think about it. Like,
It was like
you
a
had
year
had
after.
no pull-out game. You weren't practicing it. Like,
I wasn't practicing.
yeah.
at
So
all.
that's like that
But
first
I
pop.
wasn't silly.
Okay.
I rapped it.
Okay.
Yeah, cause I was in what they called the world, so
Mm.
I had to play by the world's rules,
Okay.
and I was being safe about it. But
Are you with the girl
no,
mother? No.
no,
How does your parents feel about that?
it's life.
But they weren't like disappointed or anything like that. They just kind of accepted it.
Yeah, they accepted it
Okay.
because we're out in the real world now.
I guess
We don't-
your parents too are out in the real world,
yeah.
right?
So reality as I knew it was coming at me all at once. So I was living and thinking one way, and I have to unlearn everything that I learned from then
Mm.
and adapt to this new
Okay.
life.
I mean, but
So
you'll
everything was
never
hit me at once.
you'll never really like unlearn it. Like I feel like that was like a large portion of your life, and they kind of like indoctrinate like
It was like
these-
a culture shock.
yeah, like they indoctrinate these things into like who you are as a person. So even for me, like there's things that like I'm no longer go to church, but there's still pieces of me that like are still kind of stuck in that place,
Yeah. What it taught me was definitely overall morals.
for sure.
It taught me right from wrong. Whether or not I knew it, I have moral and spiritual stability.
How do you what do you teach your daughter as far as religion now, or like her relationship with God? What's the mother? Is she of any religion?
I think she's a Christian.
Okay.
As far as when it comes to teaching my daughter about God as of right now, she just turned 6,
Okay.
so she's still
Fairly young.
fairly young. So, I'm waiting until she gets older.
Are you gonna let her
She
make her
has a-
decision?
Yeah,
Okay.
because at the end of the day, God gives us free will, but as a parent, you want to lead your child, you want to guide them, you want to protect them, obviously, but you first and foremost want to make sure they know God exists.
Okay.
What's your relationship like with God now? Like, I guess going through something so traumatic like that, typically it would push people, like Isa said earlier, like kind of just towards being atheist or anti-church. But it seems like you're not really there. So, like, do you ever see yourself going back to church or like maybe like another denomination? Are you gonna just pretty much stay, I guess, non-denominational? Like,
Another denomination or non-denominational, I don't acknowledge religion at all. Religion is a man-made relationship with God, or it's a subscription. That's what I used to say.
right.
Because when you go into an institution, you go into a church, you gotta pay.
I do
feel
I
like
do
that's
hate
paying
that.
for God's grace.
I do hate that 10% thing. Like that.
But it's tied.
I don't like it. I don't agree with it.
But
I
no,
don't
no,
like
no.
it.
And in the place that I came from, not only did you have to pay 10%, but you had to pay 25%.
Oh, my guy was really the extra 15 was for him. Like,
Feel me? So
Bro, I told you the story. I want to say it. I
Yeah.
won't put that business out there, but
Yeah.
like, yo, these churches will see you going through the worst,
right.
suffering, barely making it, right? And they still want 10% out of you?
But it's not so much them. Like, oh, I don't know how it is for most religions, but like, it's kind of like the expectancy from like God. So like, I get it. Do I do it? No, but I get it, right? Because it's like,
You know what I really appreciate about
All right.
you? Is your hypocrisy.
I love it. I mean,
I love that about you.
I am who I am. You
I
feel
love
me?
that about
I
you.
am who I am. Like,
I
so-
get it. It makes sense. I won't do it.
No,
but,
I don't do it.
No, I'm saying I don't. I won't do it. But yeah, I get it.
So I get it because it's like, okay, this was kind of like when you're following a certain religion, like you're given like the rules to follow, right? And obviously, like you follow them as best as possible. And tithing is part of one of those rules. Where it's like, okay, like at the end of the week, you have to give 10% offering. So, I mean, we had a conversation earlier. Like offering at one point was an animal sacrifice. Now it's no longer that.
it was
Like,
animal sacrificial offerings
Right.
and like your crops.
I mean, yo, like when they make the new Bible, can they like lower it down to like 3%? Like I'm just saying, 10's a lot.
they don't
See, the
make
thing-
the new Bible.
No,
like,
no.
The thing is
No,
about
no.
it
They
is
do.
you're not
They
even
will.
supposed to- You're not even supposed to take any words out of it.
No,
You're
but
not
here's
even
my
supposed to
thing,
change it.
right? There's an Old Testament. There's a New Testament.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
No,
Yo,
it's
that-
not
yo,
a new Bible.
all right, here's my
That's
thing.
not-
When they-
your
Can I finish?
your logic is skewed.
Yo, when they make the New Testament, just lower it to 3%. That's all I'm asking.
There's no New Testament. It's all
Are
like
you speaking for God? You don't know what he's gonna drop on the new Bible.
Are you asking for a discount?
No, I'm just trying to make it more
Yeah,
fair.
he's asking for a
think about it, yo, the average job only gives you a 1 or 2% a year, right? I'm just saying, like, can we match that? That's all.
you have 90%.
Bro, the government takes 50.
Tithes weren't even supposed to be a monetary thing.
It wasn't supposed to be monetary.
It wasn't even supposed to be monetary, and that's where religions got it jacked up.
I mean, so if you want to go sacrifice a goat,
But
go ahead.
if you want to
You know how much a goat is?
if you,
Exactly my
if
point.
you need support from within and you like trying to be self-sufficient, that's one thing.
Yo, can you sacrifice a goldfish?
A
You think that would,
goldfish?
yeah, like a real goldfish, like a fish. Like it's an animal sacrifice.
It has to be 10% of like your lifestyle.
Yeah, but if you just have a bunch of goldfish,
No.
No, you have a goldfish farm.
I could start one. It'd be cheaper than the 10% of money. Like you just go to Walmart, get a
I don't
couple
know.
fish.
How about you pray? You pray on this, and then
All right.
let me know what God tells.
Just,
you.
I'm spitballing here, right? Like
All right.
people are, inflation's up, right? Joel Osteen's flying on a private jet.
You're
Like
not-
something's got to
You
give.
gotta do 10% of an ant farm next. Like after
I
that,
don't know.
it's too expensive. Like what the
I'm
fuck
just-
is going on here?
You know what? At least I'm trying it one. What are you saying, all right?
Yes, touche. No, but for honestly, like I said, there's a bunch of rules. I get it. You know, like okay, you're supposed to do this thing. Do I follow it? No.
Dude, I mean, your religion was supposed to be such a beautiful thing, man. But like, as always, men just ruin it. Like, not specifically men, but just like humans. It's just,
People in general.
we're too flawed, and I think anytime we're given a position of power, we abuse it. Obviously, you saw it with one of the leaders in your church, and I think that's what turns so many people away. And I think that's why, especially kids when that are grown up in the church, when as soon as they grow up and they kind of start seeing things that like maybe the other adults are just too blind to see, that's when they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna take a step back.
Yeah.
This is wild." I don't know. And I think once you kind of notice these things, it's hard for you to get back into it. I think a lot of people believe in God.
Right.
They just can't commit to like
Religion.
the shenanigans that these
I think
churches
religion
pull.
definitely
Nah,
turns it off.
there was
for
a
sure.
lot of things that he said that was supposed to be so-called prophecies that didn't come to pass either. Like
What-
they were supposed to walk in between like a sea in April of like 2020. There was supposed to be a lot of catastrophic events that happened that just did not take place.
But even the same thing, like for the Seventh-day Adventist religion, like at one point they had predicted that Jesus was supposed to come back at 1844,
He was
In
supposed to come back
1844.
in the year 2000 and he didn't.
and never happened. You feel me? So I feel like a lot of times people are like, not to say, because I don't know, they said there's a reasoning behind that, right? But
Mhm.
like I don't know what the reasoning is, and I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. But I think like like you said, people tend to like take one thing, which is the overarching thing is to be a follower of Christ, right? And to be obviously he's the the only person that's supposed to be connecting you to God or be the way to God, right? And then under that, me and you, let's just say it's us three in this room. You guys are following one thing, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really like this thing. Or what do you think about this? So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna start my own thing. And then you do the same thing, and you break off and you start your own thing. And then it's like it just creates so much conflict that like you said, it just after it's all said and done, it just leaves a bad taste in people's mouths to where they end up just deciding to be like, you know what, like this is no longer being like this, like you said, this beautiful thing. Like it's no longer being this thing that like is supposed to be bringing me joy. It's supposed to be connecting me closer to God. And realistically speaking, as Jerron said, like you're supposed to have your own set of like, I guess your own understanding and your own understanding of the doctrine. But honestly speaking, most people don't. And a lot of times their only real security is the church, you know, and the environment that they're in. And then when those people fail them, it's like, okay, like this is the only team, this is the only group of people, this is the only family that I'm really like associated with. And then they have turned their back on me, or they're doing certain things that I don't like, or they're displaying certain behaviors that I may not agree with. So I need to like kind of separate myself. And unfortunately, that then, because you're not grounded enough, it then causes you to be, you know,
Yeah,
no longer religious.
I also
you know?
think religious people come off as very judgy to non-religious people.
Very.
I think which is
Yeah.
a big turn off for them.
Very.
Right.
I used
And
to
they're
be one
and
of
they,
those.
I mean, especially like Jehovah's Witness, like people hate when you push your religion onto them,
Right.
Like it's supposed to be a thing where people seek it.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, if you're like knocking on my door, like after I got to work, it's like, what do you think my response?
10 o'clock in the
is gonna
morning,
be?
you're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Like get out of here,
Why are you here?
get out my property.
Right. But that's why I was having a conversation with a lady the other day, and like I told you, I was raised in the church as well. And one of my biggest gripes that on the reason why I left is, you know, I feel like it became too focused on like Jesus' second coming and how to be right with God, and not enough focus on like the love of God, you know. And a lot of times, like we're going to the doors that of people and we're knocking, because we used to go to doors also, you know, and we used to pass out pamphlets as well. Not to the same extent, not as dedicated as the Jehovah's Witness, but we would go door to door and knock also. And I'm like, yo, half of these people, you know, they're like barely making ends meet, you know, don't know where their next food is or meal is gonna come from. Their light bill is probably past due. They're probably about to get evicted. And you're knocking on the door and handing them a pamphlet and wanting to pray with them. Like, why would they care about this shit? You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, like, you need to, like, kind of go to where they're at. And, like you said, like, they want to almost, like, guilt trip you or force you into religion when that's not supposed to be the way.
Yo, you know what like really blew my mind the other day, yo? So I was just driving on the highway, right? And there's this billboard that says, "Do you know if you're going to heaven or hell?
I seen that one.
Call this number." Like, are these people out of their mind? Like, who are you to fucking tell me? Like, yo, is it like, yo, am I gonna answer like a multiple choice test? Like, at the end, they just put it through the Scantron. It ain't. It's looking like purgatory for you. Like, you got time, but get it together. Like shit like that is what like I think messes up religion. Like, why would you put a billboard with the number asking people
if
like,
I
are you going
call
to
this
heaven or hell?
number, am I gonna be
Like, is this like, am I calling Jesus himself?
I'm
Like,
gonna
am I
get the
gonna be speaking
answer.
to Paul? Am I
Yeah.
gonna be speaking to Andrew? Like,
Yeah, like
who gonna be on the phone?
You're gonna get God on the phone.
Exactly.
Big God, you know?
I don't know, man. But yo, so how's life now?
Life's lifing.
Life's living. All right. Before we end this, is there any message or any tips you would want to share to some people that are still in the church?
I do.
Okay.
This camera right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. If you leave, if you finally make that decision to leave, your life is not over.
You're not the devil.
You are not wicked at all. Listen, what I did was I kept heavily in contact with my dad. I kept heavily in contact with my uncle. He made a TikTok page. Shout out to him. It's called God Time, where he just breaks down everything that we were taught and then he corrects it. My dad was up there a couple times, and he goes and breaks down things in the detail the way it's supposed to be. If I had to say anything to them, look for God Time. It's on TikTok.
Okay.
I'll say what Apostle Paul said. We ought to obey God rather than men. That's the first thing. Second thing is trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto thine own understanding. That means basically trust God. Don't listen to yourself, especially when you're in your emotions. No good will come from that. Never.
I could agree with that. I think, build a relationship with yourself, for yourself.
Build a relationship with yourself. Then when you know you're ready, because many are called, few are chosen, you'll know his voice when you hear it.
Is that the slogan for the Marines?
No, that's not. That's not.
You know his voice when you hear it.
That's
Like,
not the slogan for the Marines.
If you in a room by yourself,
I gotta Google
and
that.
all you hear is your name.
Yeah.
And nobody's in the room. Somebody trying to get in contact with you.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly, just like learn for yourself. Like build a relationship for yourself. Learn the Bible
Educate
for yourself.
Study to show thyself approved.
Your
That's what you're supposed to do.
Your connection or your relationship shouldn't be your mother's or your father's or your church's.
Exactly.
Sometimes they're not right. They don't get it right. So just figure out who you are.
Make your own salvation.
Right.
All right. I think we'll leave it. Yeah, where can they find you? They want to get in contact with you or, have any questions?
ahdthesoul. That's my Instagram. Or my Facebook is my first name.
No, I don't.
No, I'm not spelling that. If all you gotta type in is AHD and you'll find me.
That's enough.
That's more than enough.
Well, thanks for coming on, bro. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we made light of it at some times, but we're glad you're found yourself. It seems like, and you're in a better position in life.
Thank you.
I
Listen. Since I left, all I've been doing is living.
Good.
I'm good.
You said you're doing exactly what you said you were gonna do.
I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
That's
all
all
you
I've
can
been
do.
doing.
Yeah.
But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Leave a like, drop a comment, leave your thoughts. So it's definitely interesting. Outside of our usual, but definitely dope.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next episode.
For sure.